The posthumously released projects of recently departed actors can make for discomfiting viewing, not least when the tone of the film is at odds with the viewer's still tender feelings regarding their absence. That's not the case, however, with Porto, a sad, shimmering American abroad love story starring the tragically late Anton Yelchin, in artfully deconstructing a one-night stand with one wistful eye on what was and another on what could have been. Gabe Klinger's first narrative feature winds up feeling appropriately elegiac in a multitude of ways. Ravishingly shot on location in the eponymous Portuguese coastal city, long deserving of just such a cinematic Valentine, in an elegant shuffle of aspect ratios and film stocks, this narratively slender item is unapologetically a mood piece, a film that's in love with cinema, and concerned that neither is built to last. A Brazilian-American academic and former film critic whose 2013 documentary Double Play, James Benning and Richard Linklater was lauded at Venice, Klinger wears his cinephilic passions very much on his sleeve. His fictional debut is a critic's film in every sense of the term, lushly steeped in reverence for past masters in a manner that less embedded viewers could find precious or even exclusive. Those on the film's wavelength, however, will delight in identifying and assembling Klinger's coterie of directorial influences, some given direct tips of the hat, Chantal Akerman, Manuel de Oliveira, and of course executive producer Jim Jarmusch, while others, from Linklater to Demy to René to Allen, are more intuitively present. Rather than seeming derivative or stifled, Porto plays as the warm, reciprocal culmination of a live's viewing. Porto itself, in all its patinated, out-of-time beauty, may effectively be the third star of this fractured two-hander, but the film is no gilded travelogue. Switching adroitly among Super 8, 16mm and 35mm, each connoting a slightly different quality of memory, Klinger and cinematographer Wyatt Garfield, Mediterranea, shoot its down-at-heel cafes and gull-pitted harbors in watery, overcast tones. Certain forms and frames seem to bleed at the edges, as if painted directly onto azulejo tile. This dreamy but disconsolate visual finish aptly mirrors the state of mind of protagonist Jake Yelchin, a rudderless American drifter in a state of self-exile, who has wound up in Porto perhaps because it's the most beautiful European city that still allows ample time and space for the heartsick. Same goes for Maddie, Lucy Lucas, winsome in her English language debut, a French archaeology student with long-nurtured sorrows of her own. One damp day, Jake and Matisse's eyes meet across the ravaged site of an archaeological dig. Later, they bump into each other in a cafe, initiating an impromptu date that lasts until morning. This brief encounter serves as the skeleton for the screenplay by Klinger and veteran writer Larry Gross, here claiming his first screen credit since 2009's Veronica Decides to Die, but its bones are disassembled and reassembled 3 times over a tight, light 76-minute runtime, told with what appears to be several years of hindsight, first from Jake's perspective, then Matisse, then an imperfect fusion of the two. Porto each time identifies subtly different connections that were made and missed on that one swooning night. Some might deem the film's framework slight, as it zigzags obsessively across hours and years, but Klinger seems acutely aware of the small romantic gestures and errors on which broken hearts can fixate for a lifetime.